Paul, you're going to appreciate this because we talk about all kinds of stuff on this show, including financial. Paul has tried to teach me on the money system. I have not been a very good student, as I have not
showed up to class once.
I have not watched the movies he has sent me to watch, and which we told you about on the show. But you will appreciate this, Paul. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders propose a 3% wealth tax on billionaires. This from CNBC yesterday. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Senator Bernie Sanders, and other Democrats are proposing a 3% annual tax on, 2% annual tax on wealth over $50 million, rising to 3% for wealth over $1 billion. The Ultra Millionaires Tax Act is what they want to call it, would aim to close the U.S. wealth gap, which has grown wider since the COVID pandemic. Now, what they should call it is the Great American Theft Act, because that's really what this is. The idea of a wealth tax, the basic concept of a wealth tax, to think about it, is basically the government somehow is going to be able to assess how much you're worth. Now, how they're going to do that is beyond me, but they're going to take a look at all your assets, they say, liquid, illiquid, who knows what? I mean, if you've got the Mona Lisa in your attic, I don't know how they're going to know that you have that and value that, but they're going to look at everything, tangible, intangible, everything, no matter what it is. They're going to put a price tag on your head, and then they're basically going to say, well, the government's decided that you're worth too much money, and we're just going to tax you at some rate, 2% if it's $50 million, or higher, 3%.
You mean steal it?
They're going to steal it. Exactly right. These percentage points.
It's not a tax. It's stealing. But let's be honest.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. And the most important part, it is regardless of whether you have worked or had a chance to earn at any time. It does not matter. If you were a billionaire and somehow ended up in jail and you had no chance to earn, you're still worth too much. They're coming in.
You mean, so the guy that's got, what was it, 10 or 12 or 100 or however many Bitcoin he has locked up that he can't get a hold of because he's only got 2 chances left to get that password right, they could assess that and say, you know what, that's $250 million, so we're charging you that.
I mean, they can
even though he has no access to it.
If they can associate it to him, again, that's just one of the many questions that would be raised by this. The idea of just if you have no chance to earn, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get this tax bill, and they're still going to put this percentage on you based on what they assume and what they think you're worth.
Right now, tax accountants of the rich and wealthy are just rubbing their hands like, ooh. They're going to be setting up offshore corporations. They're going to be moving people's residencies out. It's just going to be a mass exodus out, and it's just the stupidest thing. Once again, these central planners think that they can control everything and anything, and all they do is hurt themselves and hurt everybody in the process.
Yeah, it is absolutely insane to think about it in actual working order that it would work, because what Paul just said is exactly right. If you're a wealthy person, what are you doing? You're immediately trying to move assets offshore, maybe move out of the States, move someplace. So just in concept alone, it's totally idiotic.
Right. And then once they figure out that that's not working because, well, the wealthy have figured out how to hide their money, then they decide, well, let's lower the bar. And let's lower the bar again. And then they continue lowering the bar until they get to everybody. Then they decide, you know what? Everybody needs this tax. It's only what, a couple cents?
The idea that because you're breathing, the government can just come in and take money from you because they think you're worth too much. The idea of that anybody thinks that would be a good idea is theft of the highest order. That is what they're proposing.